we are making these delicious, healthy chicken fajita bowls. They are perfect for diabetics because they're low carb, very gentle on my blood sugars. So we first need to make the fajita seasoning. And so in a medium-sized bowl, I like to add 2 teaspoons of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of paprika, a 1/4 teaspoon of cumin, half a teaspoon of garlic powder, half a teaspoon of onion powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/8 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, and I also like to add 2 tablespoons of olive oil and half of a lime, like the juice of a lime, but just half of a lime. So I'm using 2 chicken breasts. I've cut them into strips like the size of my finger, and I put them in the bowl with the marinade. I toss it, and then I just throw it in the fridge for about an hour to let it marinate. We're going to take out the chicken about 15 minutes before we're ready to start cooking, just to let it get to room temperature. I heat up a skillet over medium-low heat, and I add some olive oil to it, about a tablespoon. And then once it gets nice and hot, I start cooking the chicken strips. Just until they're browned. We don't want to overcook them so they become rubbery. Just once they're browned, and obviously there's no pink on the inside. So we let it cook probably 3 to 4 minutes per side of the chicken. And once the chicken is done, we remove the chicken and we start adding the veggies. So in the same pan, there's going to be all that sauce in there, which is perfect. We're going to add, I added 1 red bell pepper and an orange bell pepper. I cut it into strips with half of a white onion, and I just grilled them in that pan over medium heat and let those veggies get nice and soft and tender. And once that was done, I added the chicken back in, and I also added some black beans. Now black beans are usually not very low carb. Black beans are probably the lowest in carbs. And I only add a 1/4 cup of black beans just because I like to have them in my fajita bowls. They taste really good. I love the texture it gives it. So once those are warmed up, then we start making our fajita bowl. So I usually like to add a layer of lettuce at the bottom first. So I use like a frizzy lettuce. And then I add some cherry tomatoes. I add in the chicken. I add in the peppers and onions. I then add some cauliflower rice that I made. I usually take frozen cauliflower rice in a dry pan, and I cook it over medium heat until that cauliflower rice is nice and dry. And then I added a squeeze of lime and some chopped cilantro to it. Once that's nicely cooked up, I add that to the bowl as well. And then I thought, well, maybe I'm going to add avocado. So I sliced an avocado in half, scooped it out, and added that. I topped it with some sour cream, and then I also drizzled some chipotle mayo that I had. Now you can buy chipotle mayo nowadays, or you can just get mayonnaise and add some chipotle sauce to it, or even just some hot sauce. Drizzle that on top. This bowl is so good. We devoured these bowls, and I only made it for 2 because it's only 2 people. Not everybody's diabetic. So I always make my recipes usually around for 2 people when I do these bowls because it's a lot of food and I don't want it to go to waste. Enjoy!